Warning, the following show features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, the reality guys and producers must insist that none of these opinions be taken as facts. Now, please enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hey.
As you can see in the title, we are here to talk about The Bachelor. Not because we even have The Bachelor in the beginning of the title, because we have entitled this episode, I'm sorry in advance. That was a line spoken by Rachel after she came back from her fantasy suite date, being the first of three, kind of almost throwing a little bit of shade, which I actually at the time respected, thought it was a great move. I'm going to leave with one thing before we get to the end of the episode, in which everyone obviously probably wants to hear our opinions on. I'm just going to start by saying the fantasy suites are smut. I'm done with the fantasy suite dates. It is a horrible freaking dynamic that it sets up. It puts really weird, gross pressure on the men / women, depending on, whether it's bachelor or bachelorette. And it's always had that weird undertone that kind of has been ignored because it's almost like a PG show. But this season, and again, I'm mad at Clayton for some of the things today, but I almost feel more sorry for the guy. He was not equipped to be put in this position. I think they almost knew that from the beginning, but to just basically equate like saying I love you to being able to have sex, to being able to just feel comfortable with all the women. I think it should go. How do you feel, Bri?
Yeah, I agree. I don't feel sorry for him though. It definitely should. Like, I know they're on a show for not money, but for love. But it's implied that they're going to sleep together. So yeah, even if you sign up for the show, even if you claim you have feelings for this bum, just knowing that somebody else is going to have sex with them like less than 24 hours before you do or after you, any person would be upset.
Yeah, totally understandable. So obviously what Brian's alluding to is Susie. So Susie was the third of three women, but during the entire episode started to express trepidation about her honestly coming to the realization that like, wait, I really don't think I can be with a man who tells multiple women that he loves them and or sleeps with any of them. And she didn't know this at the time in the beginning of the episode. Obviously on their dinner date, she addresses this to him. He initially only admits to one sleeping and saying I love you to one woman. And as soon as she comes and as an adult says to him, you know what, like, I'm sorry. And this wasn't something I knew beforehand, but like, it's just something I can't deal with. This guy went on, I'm trying to stay a little, this guy went on an all-time asshole tirade, man, like all-time bad look. My skin was crawling. I don't know how there's no way this guy could be watching this episode. He has to have known what was coming. And oh man, like when he said that she changed and how wouldn't she stay there to fight for him and that this is shattering to him. And man, you just went on 2 dates and said, I love you to 2 women and slept with 2 women. Like, bro, you were not worried about her. And he pulled the, like, you're not going to fire me, I quit. And so basically trying to make it seem like he was sending her home when she obviously said she was leaving. Bri, your thoughts?
I mean, I've been saying all season that I think this guy sucks. And like, I think tonight really like is concrete evidence that like this guy sucks. And I'll tell you what, if I see any of these people defending this guy tomorrow, like, I mean, shame on you. Like, oh, I think he's doing a really good job. Fuck you. He's not doing a good job. Like, can you imagine if I'm going to just, because I know a lot of our people are older listeners. Imagine if your daughter was in Susie's situation. How would you feel?
And I don't want to hear the shame. Yeah. And I'm going to cut off another argument. I don't want to hear the shame. Even like you said, like you do understand the rules, but she's still a human. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to at any point in time say, you know what? I don't want to be doing this anymore. My heart's changing. My feelings are getting too involved and I can't get hurt like this. Everyone is fine with that. So don't shame her for even going on the show or anything like that crap too. I don't want to hear any of that. And, listen, we're not saying poor Susie, like she's some abuse victim here, but like she was really disrespected in his reaction. Everything leading up to that was fine, all fair game. He was allowed to do that, and she was allowed to have those feelings. What was not allowed was how his reaction was a temper tantrum. Yeah. Honestly, man. And of all the times I do all these stupid rants and the jokes and stuff, like we've made friends with Jamie, like we've made friends with Pete, like, you know, with someone else coming on another interview, like, bro, I don't want to be your friend. If you ever see this clip, I don't want to be your friend. This is something I would tell you, person. Look, you're 17 foot tall. Like, dude, this was a clown show. This was BS. And I'm glad it looks like you're not going to get somebody next week. I hope you go and knock on every door of the women who left and you beg and they all tell you to kick rocks. And look, I don't think you're a horrible human, but you got some growing up to do. This like we've been angrier at episodes, but this made me just like, ugh.
Yeah. We're both married, and like I couldn't even imagine like,
oh my God,
like this kind of like doing something like that. I mean, look, I've been like, we've all been young and in college and dumb, but like, I mean, we've never done something like this level. But remember, he's a great guy. He's a fucking loser.
He's a chronic, he said, hey, habitual overcorrector. I've kind of mentioned this in other episodes, but this is someone's first time seeing it. What I mean is this guy really overcorrects for mistakes that he's made. So he made mistakes by not sending Shanae home right away and ignoring all the people's advice. So what's he do after that? The next week with Sarah, he has like one or two women say that they don't think she's great. And he instantly goes for the kill and throws her ass right out just to try to save face. And now it's with this crap. Last week goes to the hometowns. All 4 women said, I love you. He says, you know what? I can't do that. I want it to be special when I do it. The next week, he tells all 3 that he loves them and then tries to bang all 3, successful on 2. If Susie was the first person, she probably would have done it. So like this dude, man, like,
yeah, as soon as he couldn't get like the ass, he like acts like a bitch. Like you just like stomping his feet, like, just, I mean, like
he was like storming around in the freaking.
It's almost like, and this is gonna sound pretty terrible, but like I was thinking about this whole episode, like he kind of used like I'm falling in love with you as like a date rape drug.
He literally did. He used it as leverage. I mean, that's literally what we wrote here in the beginning.
Leverage. Like everyone was the same, but like he changed the words. He was like, I didn't want to tell you this last week, but like. I'm falling in love with you.
He Dennis systemed these girls, man. He fucking inspired hope with them, where every speech to those first 2 girls was how like they broke down his shell and his walls and blah, 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 and like empowering them and then telling them exactly what they want to hear and boom, done. I mean, it seems that like, you know, obviously after this, it's crazy too. I was confused about the preview. I mean, I don't even care. Like the dates were fine. He broke one of the cardinal rules that we have of the Bachelor franchise: no motorized vehicles or motorsports. He was flying in that thing. Screw that. So are they doing the final rose ceremony with 2 women together at the same time? They don't usually do that.
I don't know. Maybe they need to do this as a formality, or I'm not 100% sure. I mean, this season has been a shit show. I've also just been thinking like, who is he knocking on the door of? Like, what if like Shanae is like always just been on call?
I think it's gonna be
Susie?
It's gonna be Susie. Yeah, and I think she's gonna turn him down too.
She better not like go back.
Susie's gonna be the fucking bachelorette.
She better Andrew S.
Susie's gonna be the bachelorette. That was like her bachelorette like moment. You know what I mean? That was her thing that they're gonna have on the trailer. You know what I mean? Her walking off. Like we've seen that crap before. I'm not saying she's undeserving of it, but I just how I see it. If it's down to, I don't see who from before who got eliminated, except maybe Serene would get it. I think if she said that storyline's like writing itself.
I hope she doesn't know. Like, get out of this stupid family. Like the Bachelor, like
they can't. You know this, so dude. Bad. This doesn't happen. They're sucked in, especially when you're first in. If you get this far into it, she's going to be on the thing. She's going to be in paradise at least. But I really think she may end up being the Bachelorette. I really do.
Look, can I say something else real quick?
Yeah, no, go whatever you want, man.
The other thing I was thinking is like this dude has the audacity every week to tweet during the episodes like
Oh
him
my
just
God.
jokes, and it's like I don't know if he's just like tone deaf or like
Does someone else do his Twitter?
yeah, I don't know, man. Like I need to know who you people are that like still like are going to support this guy, because
It's gonna be it's gonna be the few women that we know in our viewers, and we appreciate you all that know him or the family, and we get it. You would defend it to an extent, but I'm gonna tell you right now, my mother wouldn't be on Facebook defending me right now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. She'd probably be putting me on blast. My mom would be posting memes about me.
I hope we only saw like the nicer parts of his dad. I hope his mom bitch slaps him back to like
The dad looks like he's gonna beat him down.
I mean, he should. My dad would kick my ass if I acted like that on TV.
My dad would just like shun me. He wouldn't even shame or beat me down. He would just like look. He just would just give me the side look and just be like, and like not want to not want to be around me.
It's embarrassing.
It's a free country. She can change her mind.
You fucking know that like he didn't like. I mean, obviously, I was gonna say he didn't tell his parents when they're on the show, but like some of his like I need to know like some people who were like, oh yeah, and they saw that episode. They're just like the Homer Simpson, like back into the bushes.
That's why I keep commenting on that one poll that I made. I was like, people, change your vote. Yeah. How you feel about him. Go back and change it.
Check that poll. I said leave him.
I did too.
I was like one of the few. We were like one of the few people. I was like, this guy's so great. He's tall and white. Woohoo!
Basically, the positive comments that we get. I do want to address the preview. We've kind of talked about it a little bit here, so we don't have to go like scene for scene. But the only thing that I want to say is that they say the drama begins. That's the first line of the trailer. It's like, next week the drama begins. Like, what?
Yeah.
As what?
Begins from hell.
Did an intern write this and just started that day like of production? Like, what do you? This whole season that just go back and watch our episodes. They're all on our playlist.
There hasn't been any drama, dude. What are you talking about?
I just, I just can't, man. We do our best. Like, we really try. And we like think, honestly, imagine if Amazing Race hadn't existed, like how negative we'd be right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
We would be just like down in the dumps. We'd be pulling some like obscure old reality TV things just to try to make us happy. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, everyone knows how we feel. It looks like we only have 2 left, which may turn to 0 really quick on Monday. It looks like. So, stay tuned for 4 hours next week of him literally going like, I mean, he literally goes like this, like he literally is a cartoon meme, like how like he tries to think out loud. So no, it's gonna be 4 hours him tumbling around hallways, blaming love. That was a line about him like, I should never fall in love. Shut up, dude. Should have just picked one. Grow up. You can have any one of the 3. You should have just picked one. Idiot.
Is there like a reunion-esque episode?
They're made like it's gonna be live, so they're gonna do that bullshit where they're in the audience and then zoom into the TV and stuff like that. I'm sure that means like we'll see Susie probably. We'll see him.
She's on Zoom. Like I would just stiff on this dude.
No, she's gonna be there, bro. I'm telling you. I'm saying she's gonna be the Bachelorette. And again, if it's your first time watching, we are spoiler free. We don't look into any of that crap. So I know people are probably, and I don't. That's why I really don't like. I want to say I appreciate the people on like Facebook, especially. They do not post like the spoilers in the comments and stuff. You have to watch out for the YouTube commenters sometimes. So I kind of almost stay away from the YouTube commenters. But like, it is nice to actually go into this with at least a little bit of the surprise. This episode next week is the first episode of the entire season where we don't know what's going to happen.
Maybe it's a murder mystery.
I thought that maybe when he was driving the motorsport vehicle, the dune buggy. Like I said, we had some good tweets. You have mentioned that he is a clown. Got a lot of good reception there. I also threw a question out there. Do they have a microphone in the fireplace? Because the fireplace sound effects are crisp.
Yeah, the sound like the lip smacking. It's just like
there's a million microphones. So
because there's nothing being said of value.
No, there's not. So obviously, like we said, next week you will get another 2 episodes of our coverage of The Bachelor. It'll be our final 2 episodes, obviously, for a while until I guess looks like Paradise comes, or maybe there'll be a Bachelorette announcement. We don't know yet. I'm thinking, Brian, there's got to be a Bachelorette announcement because there's a lot of time till the summer.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get a season starting sooner than later. You'll also have our premiere coverage this week of The Amazing Race. We are working on watching Love is Blind Japan. We will have a guest, Kristen, on for that. She's been on plenty of our older episodes. So we will do a season review there. We will also, I have an interview that will drop this Friday morning. It was actually with PJ Henderson from Michelle Young's season of The Bachelorette. Actually, more on the serious side. We do talk a little bit of reality TV at the end, but there is a pretty serious story going on with his family that I thought was worth sharing. He's been on some other podcasts, but wanted to continue to put the story out there. And then obviously we will continue with all of our other coverage of whatever reality TV show premieres as we go. But for myself, Brian, Kevin, Waleed, thank you and peace.
Congrats, UD.
Oh, congrats, UD made a tournament, boys. Let's go.